Hello everyone once again. So the next presentation is by Dobcomed from Belgium. Welcome guys. You have 20 minutes. We suggest the first 10 minutes for the presentation and the following 10 minutes for the Q&A session. 2 minutes before the end of the time slot, we will let you know that the time is almost up. And once again, just a reminder for everyone else, if you would like to get in touch with the guys from Dobcomed, just send me a message down in the chat and I will share the contact with you. So guys, prepare some questions for the Q&A session. And for you guys from Dobcomed, if you have your presentation ready, I believe you can start whenever you're ready.
Okay, thank you very much, Vaclav. Hi, I'm Nicolaas Vassel. I'm responsible for sales for DOBCO Medical Systems, and I have with me.
Hello, everyone. I'm Stephanie Bush, and I am responsible for marketing at DOBCO Medical Systems.
Excellent. Let's share our presentation. Launch it. And I should be able to share it. Everybody can see the PowerPoint?
Yes, we can see it.
Yes. Okay. DOBCO Medical Systems has a very strong solution we want to present, which is called PACS on Web. We strongly believe, we are totally convinced that PACS is a cloud. DOBCO Medical Systems, we're not the typical PACS vendor, and we are a fully cloud-based solution provider. And we're already in business since 2011. We have about 290 customers. And just to give you an idea about the scale we're operating on, we are managing 12 million DICOM exams per year in 8 European countries today. We have a lot of reference customers. I won't go over them, of course, today. I just want to highlight a few of the workflow problems that the PACS on Web solution can solve. One of the things we started with was the CD replacement by offering a portal using the internet, image exchange, emergency workflows like stroke, whatever, a emergency home reading solution where a physician or radiologist from a remote location can use the platform to read and diagnose images, a fully archiving solution in the cloud, and of course, diagnostic PACS, fully web-based. Our initial value proposition is saying, look, with a cloud-based PACS, you will be able to attract more patients at a lower cost. So how do we make this statement true? Well, on one end, we are going to make sure that you're going to get more patients by taking care of your customers. So by increasing the service that you can offer as a hospital or as a private practice towards your GPs, towards your patients. We're going to do this by giving fast and easy access, by offering rich reporting, by offering one system with one viewer that really can work cross-hospital, that enables collaboration and so much more things. We will increase the quality of the service that as a radiology department, as a hospital, you can offer. At the same time, we will lower the costs of your radiology software and hardware, because we no longer depending on a local system. We don't need to support a local system anymore. So we are not confined to the silo, to all these different solutions or services you have installed in the hospital. Instead, we are offering everything from the cloud, where we only have one central system to manage, which means that we can be more lean and mean in terms of support, upgrades, and creating new features inside that system. Compared to a local server-based system that needs to be installed locally, where you need a local crew to support from the hospital or from the PACS vendor in general. Make no mistake, we are not just a PACS solution that is being installed in a data center and then delivered to the customer. No, we are a true cloud multi-tenant solution. And with that, I mean that we have one shared infrastructure, one shared system for many customers, instead of just installing a couple of servers for customer A, installing a different bunch of servers for customer B in a data center. We only have one system. So it's just a question of tapping into the cloud, connecting into the system, and you're off. This ultimate simplicity is very attractive for customers because you don't have to install, you just can simply connect. You have every participant has access to everything with the proper user rights. It's a single viewer and which will be able to support a lot of different workflows. It's always up to date and scalable, and it is secure by design. And on top of that, we can backend connect with different AI packages or quantitative imaging packages using back-to-back cloud connections. This means this is how it looks. You can have a diagnostic workstation for the radiologist that uses this fully web-based system. You can have tablets or a smartphone using the same system. You can do advanced workflows such as mammo screening using the web-based system. And we also support, advanced visualizations for MIP and PR. And then for heavy 3D or post-processing, we can link using the web interface towards a single via solution, for example. Okay. So the result in the end is more patients that you will have as a customer with a lower cost. For the radiologist, he will have a fully web-based PACS anytime, anywhere on any device with the best of breed integrated solutions from the backend. For a physician, he has one interface to see all the different patient exams regardless where it was taken. For a CIO, of course, it's a managed service that he can buy with 24/7 solution and fully secured. For a CEO, he can shift from CAPEX to OPEX and will have 50% less total cost of ownership towards his investment. And of course, for the patient, he will be empowered to have a fully web-based system with just a number instead of a CD or something else, and will have a better care delivery because all the caretakers can use one single cloud system that is everywhere, anytime available. Okay, one final slide that I wanted to share with you on the platform is that we offer the platform by offering a growth path towards customers. So imagine an existing hospital with a local PACS system from any vendor. We can easily take a first step and just add a cloud layer. What we do is we come in, install a local gateway and connect the local PACS to the cloud so that images are available in the cloud so that patients, GPs, specialists can use the cloud from anywhere in the world to access the exams from the local hospital. And we unlock a local PACS silo. And then in the next phase, in a second step, depending on the rhythm of the customer, we can start archiving the local PACS into the cloud. So he can reduce disks, he can reduce the total cost of ownership because we can offer a much better quality price ratio inside the cloud. And then of course, as a final step, we can actually get rid of the local PACS and have everybody working on a fully web-based cloud system with all the advantages it yields. Okay, and this growth path is something very unique we can offer in the market and that nobody else can show. Okay, that concludes my presentation of what I wanted to present to you. If time permits, I would like to quickly offer a demo, if I still have time.
Sure, of course. Go ahead, please.
Yes. So I'm going to share my browser. Is everybody seeing the browser?
Yes, we see it.
Yes, I can log in on my cloud system as a patient using only a unique code and my date of birth and optionally OTP, or I can log in as a physician. I'm going to log in now as a physician, and I will end up seeing my list of all the patients that I have been working with. Do note that this is supported in multiple languages, 7 languages so far, but we're adding new languages each year. And then I can just search and open a specific study. And at the same time, I see that when opening one study, I see that the same patient has got other exams, maybe in the same hospital, maybe in another hospital. For me, it's just a question of dragging and dropping the specific study and throwing it into one viewer. And this specifically consolidated view is really appreciated by the customers. One final thing I wanted to show you here was the possibility to use your smartphone that I'm showing now in my screen. And on the smartphone, I have a web app, which is called the remote reading, the home reading. And then now I can just dictate a report right into my browser session. So I'll start. Nieuw onderzoekpunt, nieuwe lijn, normaal onderzoek van de dorsale wervelzuil, punt, nieuwe lijn, geen contrastpunt, geen afwijkingen, punt, nieuwe lijn, met dank en collegiale groeten. So I just dictated something, it's recognized in my smartphone and immediately synchronized with my web session. And then as such, I can still tweak, make some changes, enlarge the font, whatever I want to do, and then save this as a fully validated report, as a temporary report, or just as a draft inside the system, okay? So this specific feature opens a myriad of solutions or workflows that we can offer doing remote diagnosis, whether it's in a regional context, whether it's in a mammo screening context, or just in an on-guard context if you're a radiologist and you don't want to go to the hospital at 4 a.m. in the morning. Okay, this concludes my presentation, what I wanted to present. So we are open now for any questions that might arise.
Thanks a lot, Nicolas. Wonderful presentation and really outstanding technology. Bravo, you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nicolas, thanks a lot for sharing. 2 questions. One is actually, could you describe what's your business model? And second, yes, you know, as you showed the customer pathway on that, whom do you see as being critical decision maker in your experience?
Very 2 good questions, Jiri. If I can answer them, our model is very straightforward. All the customers pay per study. So the amount of studies they upload to the cloud, and that's it. So regardless the amount of users, regardless the amount of transactions that happen on the studies, it's just pay per study. So if you do 10,000 exams, radiology exams per year, you pay a certain fee, let's say 40 cents or 20 euro cents per study, that's it, nothing else. And then your second question, the typical DMU, so the decision makers for this kind of solution is 1, the chief radiologist, 2, the CIO, and sometimes 3, the CEO. That's it, those 3.
And what's your average length of the sales cycle?
And that's a tough thing to answer. It can range between 3 weeks up to 18 months, depending on the hospital context, or if it's a chain of private hospitals, or it's a public hospital with a tender.
Thank you.
Please.
Okay, I have a question as well. Hello, Nicolas. Hello, Stephanie, as well. Thank you for a fascinating presentation. My question is, what strategy or steps would you choose for picking the right cloud solution nowadays? And perhaps a second question, what strategical and structural shift has to be done in healthcare nowadays so that hospitals can actually apply like cloud-based solutions? Thank you.
Well, it's a complex question. Typically, it's important, I think, for a region or for a country to have a good internet system in the country. The typical bandwidths need to be properly. Although we already started in 2011, our systems are optimized to work with low bandwidth and high latency. So if we have 2 megabits minimum connection, we can make it work. It doesn't go lightning fast, but it will work, right? So we don't need like 500 megabit or 100 megabit LAN speeds like the usual PAX vendors. We can work on this thing. A second, I think, critical condition to have cloud-based solutions working is the minds of the customer, and that's a tough one. Your customer needs to trust the cloud. He might be using Gmail for his email, which is cloud. He might be using LinkedIn, which is also cloud. But putting his customer data, the patient data, into the cloud is a mindset that needs to grow. In some countries like the Netherlands, Belgium, France, they're really totally in that mindset. In other countries such as Germany, Poland, for example, this is really growing much more slower to make the decision to put data into the cloud. And it's not an intellectual argument. It's more a personal argument about trusting the cloud. You can prove most of the time that it is cheaper and more safer to put things in a cloud because of the current security than in your local hospital basement, for example, where hospitals don't have the budget to have a tier 4 ISO 27001 secure data center. They don't have the budget, but it's I don't know how to describe it.
It can be an emotionally charged decision for people. And I think a lot of us use the cloud in our personal lives without realizing how much information we put into the cloud. But once you start to apply it to a business model, your thought process is completely different. And then you start to look at that in a different way.
Brilliant, thank you.
Okay, thanks. Any other question? Anyone else?
Folks, I definitely would like to follow up, so we'll take it offline.
Perfect.
Okay.
Great technology. Thanks for the presentation, guys.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks.
So, yeah. Sorry. Maybe just 2 more minutes for any additional question, and in 2 minutes we actually arrive to our first coffee break, and then we will return again at 11:30. So please, if there is any other question, still have some time left.
Maybe one more question regarding the market landscape. Whom do you compete with? What's the competition level, and where do you position yourself?
Okay. So again, a good question, but not easy to answer. The combination of different workflows and solutions that the PaxonWeb Cloud offers makes it quite unique. So we compete with parts of our solution with other vendors. And so let's say on the diagnostic side, we have a competition with the classical vendors like Agfa, Fuji, Sectra, Philips, GE for that matter. But then on the exchange and the workflows and the portal side, we have much less competition for them, and we are competing with XDS vendors like Innovation in the Netherlands, like with other companies that provide XDS. So, and then on the storage side, we sometimes come into competition with data center offerings or with large telecom groups that offer storage in the cloud. So it's each time depending on the aspect that you highlight, it could be a different competitor. But we don't have competitors who offer the full range of services that we can offer.
I can only say I know this technology here in Benelux, and I highly recommend to look into this more into detail, because it's really a great solution. That's only just my personal opinion.
All right, thanks a lot, Oliver. So if there is no more question, thanks a lot once again, guys, from DOBCO Medical.
Yeah.
Very, very nice presentation. So as I mentioned before, if anyone would like to get connected with the guys, just drop me a message down in the chat, and I will share the contact.